Hello, welcome on the show. Welcome to Solos. Hope you're good this week. Last previous episode, I was supposed to do a solo episode, but I didn't do it because I was in vacation. I moved back from Indonesia to Europe, and between both of them, I decided to take 2 weeks of vacation. So we went a bit in Bangkok and in India. So that's why I didn't post a podcast about myself, because I was doing something else and I didn't prepare in advance. The podcast with guests, I prepared them in advance, but the podcast in solo, I do it over when it needs. So that's what I am doing right now. I'm doing it it's the 21 February, it will be next week published. So, what we're gonna talk in this show? So there are a lot of interesting things, because since then, a few things happened, and like the way back to India was very complex. Like, we had to take a flight to India, then we arrived at the airport and we're surprised to know, like, India don't do visa on arrival. We didn't check. Great move from us. Genius. And so we check like how to do a visa online, and they say up to 24 hours or 84 hours, 88 hours, 48 hours, whatever. So we missed the flight of going to India, and then we went to India. We tried to get a flight. We went to Bangkok a night, then to go to India, because it was the only flight to go there. So we have been enjoying Thailand and Bangkok. Was very cool. A night there, very funny. And then we went to India. In India, it was very, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't understand how people can live there and feel in peace. Like, it's so many things happening at the same time, so many horns, so many sounds, so many people moving, angry, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it was overwhelmed for me, since I am kind of introvert. And being there was like super draining. So it was cool in the same time, because discovered a few things. So Taj Mahal, which was the dream of my girlfriend, was like, wow, so huge. But in the same time, like, yeah, a lot of complex things to manage, to understand, to agree on, pricing things, negotiation things. Very weird. So after India, we were supposed to go back to Europe, and then we missed the flight again because they moved the flight in advance during the night. So we were sleeping, we wake up, and then instead of having 2 hours and a half to get our flight, we had only 1 hour. So it was a problem, because when we arrived to the check-in to check out the luggage, they say, oh, it's too late. I was like, yes, it's too late, but the initial time wasn't too late, guys, and we sent an email at 3 a.m. when we were sleeping, so we cannot know. Whatever. So we missed this flight again, and we took another flight. Instead of we were supposed to go to Turkey, enjoy Turkey for a week, and then go home. We went to Paris to be a safe place in Europe, because enough of weird things happening, we don't understand the culture and anything. We were needing a bit of peace. So we chose a place we can go direct, and it was feeling home. So it was or Romania or Paris, France. Both of them were or expensive or to go or not direct. So I found one expensive and direct, and I took that. Then at the end of the day, we were in Paris. We arrived, take a room, and have a nice sleep, and then we felt like, oh, finally. So my speakers just stopped, that you know. So then we arrived back in France, and I have started back to work. So what I've done is, especially first step was, I have spent a lot of money during this travel, and especially the last part when we decided to do nice hotel, to visit a bit Bali, nice places, and then taking plane, nice place in India, but missing planes, so paying back planes. It's a story between 2,000 to 3,000 euro in plus, so a lot. So I was like, let's focus a bit on making money. So I was supposed to have a freelancing client, who didn't want to get the job done finally, so dropped that. So I wrote an article about how to hire me to convert your app from Cordova to Capacitor, which I published it, and I'm doing more stuff in that way. Like I have like published publicly my price to help you to build a Capacitor app. Lately, I've published a consultancy page to help people like on the app if they need. So I hope that will bring me a few clients on the side to survive, let's say, or more than survive, to live decently, more decently, to live with abundance while my project become abundant as well. Other things, so also what I've decided is while I will be in vacation, I will do some tasks. So answer the support question from users only and do some kind of marketing stuff I always postpone, which was not taking a lot of time, but I prefer to do coding anyway. So this, I just cancel myself to do code outside of fixing support things, support bugs. So I did a bit of marketing. I downloaded a Figma template made by a friend, which is very cool. It allows you to create your screenshot for all device size, all language very easily. I think he will start to sell it at one point because it's amazing. It's a super good idea. It's so missing in the ecosystem to have that, because most of the time you do all images by yourself. It's almost 70 images. It's like crazy to create them. So then you do it one time and you never update them again. So that's my point right now. Most of my app have a very old screenshot. We're not reflecting the app anymore, which is sad. I made a scrapping system to get data on mobile app on App Store, so Google Play Store, to be precise. My point was to get data from that. I can maybe retarget people, potential clients, etc. I discovered like I had a way to get email from developers, from apps, and also known if they use Capacitor, if they use CapGo, if they use React Native, if they use Flutter, whatever they use. I found a way to get this information. So I think I've talked that on the last podcast, but now I have 300,000 apps scrapped, so 300,000 emails, but including 4,000 using Capacitor, 20k almost using Cordova, and 15k using React Native globally. So I have a lot of emails where I can target people for different things. Like for React Native, I can say, how do you know Capacitor, and make awareness. For Cordova, I can try to help them do freelancing mission for them to become to get freelance mission. And all other using Capacitor, they can become the CapGo client. So I have that to set up, and I've also did some calls with VA. French VA could help me in by managing my business. I discovered like if I had a VA for managing my flight, at least I will not have forgot about the visa, because she will double check everything. So she could have cost me 800 euro for a month, while for 8 hours, while by missing the flight, it cost me 2,000, between 2,000 and 3,000. So the count is fast, and you see, like, I should have a VA, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs should have a VA, even not a lot by months at the beginning, but since the beginning. Also, I've discovered, like, for a long time, many developers think there are not big apps using Capacitor or Cordova. So I was thinking, hey, I can make top 100 apps using Cordova or Capacitor. So I made that, and I have this list now published on the website, so you can find the top 100% Capacitor. I think I will do the same page for Cordova, and that's amazing. Like I can show more awareness around that. No, I don't want to close Brave. My auto update system want to close Brave to update my computer. Nope, please no. So when I was in France, I did a visit a bit stuff still, because my girlfriend liked France, so That's why she's with a French guy. No, kidding. I have also improved my developer experience in CapGo. I have a lot of feedback of people not understanding like all my CLI system work. So I've tried to improve that. I've looked what capacitor is doing. They have a Docker command to help you to debug. So I did the Docker command as well. And I improved the CLI. I moved like it was very messy organization. I moved it to by domain. So now you have CapGo CLI, app, add, CapGo CLI, app, upload, channel add, channel list, channel upload, and stuff like that. So it's way better than before where you were list, but you can say it's a channel or not in the option. So yeah, I have improved that. And I hope in the future it will be even better and better. I've met today a designer, and I hope she will be able to help me design better the whole experience around CapGo. So the idea is to let her be very autonomous to understand what is the path of my users. So by doing interview to the users, and then she will propose some change, and I will implement it or put the community to implement it. By the way, something I've set up this week, which was amazing. I jumped directly to this week without doing chronologically. Sorry, but I think this is important. I have added to CapGo GitHub the bounty system. So I can put a bounty like for 100 euro. If you want to do a task, I believe I can pay 100 euro for this task if it's done. So I put a bounty, and then people start to say, oh, I want to work on it. So I have that currently in CapGo. You can have a check if you want to participate. You can get up to 500 euro, I think, for the biggest task. It's still not the paid as I want. I think I would love to pay better. But right now, at least some people will find the energy to do it anyway. And it's a win-win situation. So it will get better over time. I will put a lot of money on that because I want the community to be part of the building of CapGo. Oh, by the way, I've updated the doc also of the documentation of the CLI. And I have probably did a lot of mistakes because now I have a lot of people complaining about they don't understand the doc and the commands and everything. So I will have to fix that a bit. I got a very interesting bug on Android. A report from a user was he wanted, like, typically what you have to be careful. A guy say, okay, I have a problem when my user opened the camera, that's trigger a new update. So I want a function to be able to prevent update. And I was like, yes, but why you don't use the prevent update system currently happening? And he said, because it doesn't fit my usage. And I was like, why it doesn't fit your usage? And he said, because on Android I have to handle the camera open, and that's not exactly what I want, blah blah blah. And I was like, what do you mean by Android? He said, yeah, it doesn't work the same in Android and iOS. In iOS, I don't need to do that. And I was like, So you try to fix something by your own code, which is a bug from my code, definitely, because both should be the same. And he was like, yeah, but I don't believe you can do it. I have read the code and it looked impossible. So I was like, let me check if it's impossible or not. And I checked. Effectively, it was so complex to find a way. But I finally find a way, which is working super well. It was not well documented at all, but I find a way to, because the problem in Android is like Android apps work with something named activity. And so the web app is one activity. And when you show on the top the camera, then the activity of the web app is made in pause. And I was watching the activity state, pause, start, to do the update. But when it's paused, it still open the app, so it doesn't work. So I found out I could wash the process of the system of the app, the system process of just this app without asking more authorization, because at the beginning was asking very deep authorization to watch the whole system. But you can watch the system like process of your own app, and then you can see what is open or not, and you can count how many activities are open and started, something like that, and then you know if you are really active or not. So I found a way to fix that, and I fixed it for him. Then he tried it and he said, oh, amazing, it works, thanks a lot. So I fixed the product instead of just pushing a new feature. I got also another interesting things in this week was I was at the restaurant I think in India, and we were like in front of the Taj Mahal eating super romantic stuff, and then I received a notification of Stripe. One user from €99 downgrade, and I was like, oh wow! So I just lose 99 by month like that. Beam. And then an hour later, someone upgraded from 14 to 30, something like that, or create a subscription. Yeah, from 0 to 30, 39. And then the day after, someone else subscribed to 99 by month. And I was like, what the fuck? Interesting. So you lose, and again back again, even better. And I was like, whoa, sometimes hardcore to receive this notification, and I have shared that on Twitter. And people are like, yeah, usually I disable the notification to don't see that often. Otherwise, it's very like lowering my energy. And for me, I believe like I want to have the information still. Maybe not all the time, I don't know, but I think it's cool. That's keep me motivated, and it's okay. That should be okay to happen. So it's just about detaching to that, like to the result. You don't need to be attached to the result, I believe, and just keep thinking you do the right task every day, and then it will grow anyway. So it's fine like that. But it was a bit hardcore at the beginning. When I saw that, I was like, wow! I've lose a lot of money with the flight, then I lose client. I was like, I will be poor under bridge soon. So I've started to post consistently on Twitter since my vacation, which is cool. I have shared a bit about my design problem and stuff like that, and I have started during my vacation. I've paid a freelancer to do like one of my intern I had last summer. We're still on contact, and he wanted to work a bit for me. So I told him, you can do the redesign, finish the redesign we have started together, because I never finish it. So he was like, yeah, of course I can do that. And then he started to work on it. So while I was in vacation, and I give him some feedback, so it was cool. And now I have released this Monday the new website, which is way more beautiful than before. Before it was with Ionic in the middle, so it was looking a desktop size website, but with Ionic element would look like a mobile app, so it was looking shitty and blah blah. It was very bad, and now it's way better. So I will continue to improve it, but that's definitely a big win. What I've done. Other things. Oh yeah, so cool. So in my pricing page, I had some statistic, which is the statistic who define in which plan you are. Because in the homepage you have some statistic, but they are still in beta test. They are not very precise. While in the pricing page I had the statistic, but it was in the sentence. It doesn't look like it's very something interactive. So most of people didn't read it. So I have removed that and made cards where you can see your current plant, your current usage of this plant, and the plant suggested. So now it's way more cleaner, and that's come with a lot of improvement I did with the platform, which I believe will help a lot people to understand like what they should do, what they should pay, and everything like that. I've also achieved something very cool. It's 100 days now. I am posting every day on whip.co, which is a work-in-progress website for makers. And that's so cool. Like, I feel so proud of me because I have read so many things about building habit, atomic habit, other website about habits, anything. And it was very hard for me to build consistency habits on new subject, like posting every day on a platform. So now I'm doing it, and I'm also doing it on Twitter and maybe LinkedIn soon, with consistency. So it's super cool, and super proud of me. It took me years to learn consistency. I still don't have the secret yet, but I feel I'm getting closer and closer to that. And that's an amazing feeling. Like, I felt so relieved to be finally able to learn that. On interesting point, I think I have already shared a bit about money, but in December, and now I'm back again in the same situation. I don't have money. I have the money from the SaaS. It's 2,100, but it's still not a lot as my previous way of spending money. So I spend more than that. I've spend a lot of time this month to reduce my cost from almost 800 to 200, I believe, on my SaaS things, but I still have costs. For example, I was paying Ahref and app something about apps, SEO, ISO for apps, and I wasn't using it so much, and I was paying almost 200 for one and 100 something for the other one. So I was like, not useful for now, so I drop. And I will took them later, maybe when it will be more useful. But I've spent a bit of time to reduce my spending, and now I will focus on increase my income, because that's necessary. I want to be able to spend more on my business, start to pay people on open source and stuff like that, to don't be the only one who do things. That will be like game changer for my project. It will be way faster, and that's the magic of open source. So that's a lot of things around that. Lately, I also do a lot of work around my own energy, like what I do. It's more esoteric, Like my girlfriend is a coach for my future wife now, because I have asked her today if she wants to become my girlfriend. She said yes. So please applause. and I can't believe I have asked her that. That's crazy. But yeah, it's a matter of energy. I felt it, and so it was necessary to share it with her, and she have felt it as well, which is crazy because we're not so long together. But there are things, it's evidence, so we go for evidence. And I think I'm doing the same in my business. I follow what the energy lead me. So that lead me to did the scrapping, contact the people to have a freelancing mission, but at the same time release the new version of the app to have more clarity and help people to understand the product better. So I believe all these things will gradually improve the performance of CapGo. And today I've met a UX designer who helped me. Her goal is to find, do user research and find from zero to becoming a client, the path of my client, and make it as smooth as butter. I want that. It's like sleeping, we paid. We didn't saw it. It was so amazing to slide. Then we paid. So that's my goal lately, to have a very smoother conversion. I with the change I have made, I can calculate now the conversion. I am at 4% conversion rate, which is not bad, but I want to improve that. I want to have a better conversion rate. Especially on this business, it's very niche. When people find me and register, I should have more conversion rate. The product should look so awesome that they will see no other option than to convert. So that's my goal right now, and that's why I will pay a UX designer for that, to make it smooth as butter. I think that's it for this time. I will not try to make it longer if I don't feel it. I think I share a lot, and I will improve over time on the subject. I really need guys, girls, if they have, but usually in my podcast there are not so much, sadly, on makers. But if you have feedbacks about what will be interesting for you, because I'm building that for you as well, to have real feedback of what is interesting to you, how I build. Do you need more to talk about more tech, more my problem, more my emotion, whatever. It's important, I believe, and I will be able to answer anything. There are no limit. I can talk personally. I can talk about sexuality. I have no fucking limit. So feel free to ask, contact me, tell about relationship, about energy, about spirituality, whatever. A lot of subject I am concerned, and I think that's interesting, but I need to have feedback for that. So please DM me on Twitter, and I will answer you. Bye guys, have a nice week. See you next time.